Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an FV4005 Stage II. It's a Tier 10 British tank destroyer with a turret. It's located on the south spawn of Pilsen and it's under the command of Nightmare 1802 of the BSW clan. Well, he's got the steampunk skin. You can hear the chuff chuff noise of the steam engine if you listen closely enough. Now he's in platoon with a Object 2685 ahead of him and also an E100. I won't pronounce their names during this battle, but that'll be quite interesting to see how he gets on. He's got the 183.5 get this right, the 182.9mm gun, which is actually a 7.2 inch anti-aircraft gun repurposed for use as an anti-tank weapon. Okay, he's waiting for an enemy to break down that door so he can punch a hole in them. If he uses the right ammunition, he can do a huge amount of damage. He's loaded 10 rounds of HESH, do 1,750, penetrates 230mm of armor, and he's also got 10 rounds of AP, which will penetrate 310mm, but only does 1,150. His reload time 23.94. Standard reload will be 28.76, so he's shaved about 5 seconds off that for starters. Okay, his 2685 platoon mates decide to push forward. Now this tank destroyer, designed during the 1950s, was based on the Centurion Mark III. It was supposed to be a counter to the Soviet heavy tanks that they saw at the end of the war, and something that could actually take them out at distance. They made two prototypes, one hull but two different turrets. One turret was the enclosed version you're seeing here, which has got paper thin armour on the turret, and the other version didn't have any armour around the turret whatsoever. So no armour at all, just an open gun and the crew working on it. Okay, line it up. And he's gone. But he did manage to get a 17cm round into us for 1,116. So he's lost half his hit points in just one shot. In fact, he's lost 2/3 of his hit points in one shot. And now he's on reload. But one of those enemy tanks just around the corner is about to get a nasty shock. Hello, Mr. VZ. Goodbye. It's just a monster gun, this thing. It really is. Now, despite the fact that they built two prototypes, there's only one FV4005 left in existence, and if you want to see it, it's now a gate guard at Bovington, although it's in a rather dilapidated state because it's been left out in the cold for far too long. Okay, we're dialing in on the Gesso. Oh, he's lost 1,713 hit points to a HESH round. He's not going to be a happy bunny after that. So he's used up 3 HESH rounds. This vehicle actually was designed to use HESH, and despite the fact that people like to call it something other than the HESH bomb, which is what I call it, it actually did fire HESH. That was its main armament. And there goes the TVP. But he did get one round into us for 345, but now he's been taken out of the game. That's his 3rd kill. He's backing up to try and avoid any shot from that enemy IS-7. You can see how paper thin the armour was. The fact that that shell went straight through the turret. No trouble whatsoever. At least he hasn't had to use his first aid kit yet. He is using premium consumables, and that speeds up the reload as well as get the aim on target. Almost ready to shoot. Here he comes. Come on out, we've got a present for you. Yes! He's out the game. That's his 4th kill. Isn't this a monster game? Yes, steampunk works every time. Now you can see why this player has 2 marks of excellence on his barrel already. Yeah, I think he kind of enjoys this vehicle. The sheer brutal power it's got to take on the enemy. Now, it does have the highest AP pen of the tier 10 tank destroyers. It's also got that incredible powerful HESH round. The HE round and the AP rounds are actually fake. They never had these in use on the FV4005. It was only ever meant to be a HESH round armed tank destroyer. The other thing that's unusual about it is the turret will only turn around 90 degrees to either the left or the right, which is kind of the same as the T110E4. You can only look 90 degrees either side, so if you're an enemy tank and you can get behind one of these, then you can take him out because he can't turn his turret to match you, and he has to swivel his vehicle if he wants to. So long as you stay directly behind the rear of this vehicle, you can get shots on it. It does have poor armor as well, not just the turret, but the actual hull's fairly poor as well. The turret turns very slowly, it's got a very long traverse, and the loading is, well, diabolically long, but obviously you already know that. There's the enemy FV4005 and he's pulling back, probably because he just fired. Oh, we've got Striv 103. Oh, and he's out the game. 1,800. He got a high roll and took the guy out altogether. So that's his 5th kill of the game. Now we're having a look in this direction because we know the HESH barn was seen up here. And we're waiting for him to poke. Come on, poke self. Come and have a look. Yes, he doesn't want to come out. He's very, very shy. Oh, he's come out. And he's gone. That's a Top Gun. Oh, yet again, the HESH barn strikes. He's got a monster 9,000 hit points of damage from this game so far. And he's not finished yet. There's still 3 enemy tanks out there. He's got 20% of the enemy hit pool, which means he might have a high caliber. In fact, it's almost a certainty he's got it. And one of his platoon mates is still alive. The E100, he's just found a Leopard, but we can't get a shot on him from here. So if we want to, we're going to have to pull back. There is an enemy Leopard also up on the heights, and the T-22 has just come into sight. So let's have a look. Here he is. See how he deals with a HESH round. Well, 1,631, but we did take a shot from him for 430, and now we're down to just 19 hit points, but 10,672 hit points of damage. The enemy Leopard has gone. So we're now just looking for that T-22. We've got a building between us. Yes, we have. The T-22's down, and that is the end of the game. So it's guns up. It's a victory. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for Nightmare 1802. I can read his name now, it's a lot easier. He managed to get a duelist badge for killing 2 tanks who damaged him in the game. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle. And out of the Battle Hero medals, he picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and he also picked up a Tanker Sniper for getting the most damage at a distance of 300 meters or more with 85% accuracy. His win rate in that battle, 19,327. So yeah, that's pretty high. That's Super Unicum and a bit more. Very top score. And yes, now you know what it takes to get an ace tanker in the FV4005 Stage II, the HESH barn. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, there you go, right at the top of the table with 10,672 hit points. The next highest scorer had less than half of that, and that was the Leopard one on the enemy team with 4,983, and he was followed by the E100, one of the platoon mates to Nightmare, who actually had 3,582. The other platoon mate in the 2685 actually only got 772, but he didn't get any kills. I'm afraid, yes, he got taken out during the battle. When it came to kills, he's got the highest number of those with 6. The next highest scorers only had 2 kills, 1/3 of the amount that Nightmare got. He got, the E100 got 2 kills, the Rhino Sorrente, the M48 Patton, the Leopard 1, and 4 members of the enemy team. Their Leopard 1, their T22 Med, or Medium, the other Leopard 1, and their IS-7. And when it came to base XP, he's got that one as well, so he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,243 went to Nightmare, 939 went to the Rhino Sorrente, and 876 went to his E100 platoon mate. He fired only 8 rounds in that game. He got 8 direct hits on the enemy and 7 penetrations. So only 1 round didn't do its job, and all the others did. 1 splash as well on the enemy. 10,672 hit points of damage, of which 6,613 were at more than 300 meters, so a lot of long-range shooting. 3 hits received from the enemy, all 3 were penetrations, I'm afraid. Yeah, he did suffer from hits to the turret, and of course it's very easy to penetrate this turret because it is paper thin. It's only designed to stop fragments, shell fragments, and small arms fire. It's only 14 millimeters all the way around. He spotted 1 enemy vehicle, damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6 of them, and on a premium count he earned 96,815 credits. And after repair, ammunition, resupply, consumables, and remember he was firing premium ammo and he was using premium consumables, he actually ended up with a loss of 32,237 credits for the game. But I think you would agree it was a fun game to watch. 42 bombs out of that battle, and 1,864 XP, 1,865 for completing a mission, 3,729 experience points altogether. Let's have a look at the armor profile just to see exactly what the FV4005 looks like on armor profile. Well, yeah, there's the turret. It's paper thin. Look at that, 14 millimeters. It's all the same all the way around. Any shell that hits the turret is going to go straight through. The ideal place to aim on this vehicle is the turret. It's big. It does look like a bit of a barn. And yeah, so easy to kill. The front of the tank is actually a little bit better. 76.2 millimeters of impacted armor. But the effective armor is slightly better. It's 92 because it's slightly angled at the front. And the lower plate is fairly is angled as well, but it's not a huge amount of armor, so effectively you could easily penetrate that as well if you're in a tier 10 tank. There's shields over the tracks area here, and again I think you can see that if you look at that, it's effective armor. It's only the impacted armor depends on where you're actually aiming. Either 6 millimeters, 25 millimeters, or 50.8, but it does actually have an effective armor thickness of 94. I think you can see on the sides there, and the sides of the vehicle are slightly inclined, but probably not enough to actually cause a ricochet. So ideally, you want to hit the turret. If you do come across one of these, you'll easily go through the rear. Just hit the turret, and you should be able to take it out. So that's the actual vehicle on armor. Let's have a look at the modules. Well, if you look at the modules, you can see the driver is the only one sitting up front in the hull looking forwards. It's on the left hand side you're looking at it, which is quite standard with British tanks. If you look a little further back, you can see that the gunner is on the right hand side there as you're looking at it. The commander is on the opposite side with the radio. And there's 2 loaders directly behind each of them, just behind them, loading the shells in, 2-part ammunition, and there's ammo in the back, as you can see here, so easily go through the ammo rack if you just aim for the center of the turret. And if I just angle that, yep, you can easily punch through the armor at the back of the vehicle, no problem whatsoever, and set off the ammo rack. The fuel tank is right next door to the engine, on the right hand side as you're looking at it, and there's another fuel tank down below, so it's not as tall as the last one, and the transmission right at the back anyway. So there's nothing really in the center of the tank to aim at. You can see there's a big gap in the middle of the tank. Nothing really at all. And I think that box there is, if I bring up the modules, what is that? That's part of the gun, that mount there. I think that's the swivel mount on which the gun is actually mounted. But you can see that's the main target to aim for, the ammo rack. It's really just aim for the back of the vehicle, right in the side, and you should be able to set it off. And even if you angle your shot from over here, say, you should be able to get it, no problem. In fact, if you just aim for the corner of the turret, it'll go straight through and should impact either the loaders, the gunner, or the ammo rack and cause mayhem. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.